morning, everybody. It's Tuesday. Where are you? What are you doing? Are you here? Do you have your coffee? Are we going to get started? Let's do it. I have my Tears with My Readers today. I think it's Colombian beans going on here. And just some milk. Pumpkin spice. Shut up, everybody. It's not Karen talking. It's Laurie. I really enjoy pumpkin spice, but I'm not putting it on like everything, okay? I just like it in my coffee. Thank you. Chill out. Who's here? The Brew crew. Good morning, Dave. How are you? As you can see, my room is a little bit, I got stuff going on. So I'm making shirts and sweatshirts, the zip-up hoodies. I finished all of the books. Just in case you didn't see them, the books. So these are the, which one do I want to show you today? Ta-da! The Volume 2 handcrafted books, my friends. Still fresh off the presses. These turned out really nice, so I'm really happy for those who got these. There's 10 going out. Get a little piece of shelf candy from Laurie Calcaterra. So gotta love them. Gotta love them. And these are all my notes of what goes where and for who and all of that stuff. But look how nice they turned out. 528. I got my two up there. Poker cards came in. All the books are in production. I've been getting updates that I should have them all like the first week of September. So everything is still on pace. To get out at when we promised, which is of course in September. I have to make the candies today. That's my other thing I'm doing. Oh, I wanted to show you my new friend. My new friend is here. You go, wait, just a second. Like to introduce you all to Jude St. Clair. Because we had a body pillow on the campaign. And I mean, I had to make one for myself, but it's a freaking giant Jude pillow. My daughter Delilah thought it was hilarious. And she tucked him in on the couch. She covered him with a blanket and she was like, "Feel better, Jude." And I was like, "Oh my Lord." So just in case you thought I wouldn't do it, we did. It's a joke, but it's real now. So always got stuffs going on. Excellent. Mr. Fish will actually be here next month. We will catch up and find out what's going on. So this is, of course, the trade paperback. So it's issues 5, 6, 7, and 8. You can still get your hands on a book if you would like. It's a great time because everything's almost done and then you don't have to wait very long. You know what I mean? So you can still get late pledges in there. And if you haven't signed up for pre-launch, please do. This is for issue number 9. Again, this is Fernando Cordero, who has taken over pencils and inks on the project, and it's looking really sharp. So if we get to 100 followers, I pass out all the little tiny books for the anxiety bookshelf. So I have them already made, so I'm assuming we're going to get to 100. If not, I got to hang on to them for another campaign, but I think we could do it. We're halfway there. We still got another month or so before we get there. So I always put you can read it for free here. So you can read issue 1 for free and get an idea. But here's a look at the interiors. Looking pretty sharp here. Matt D. Chambers, the third, of course, is still on colors. Fernando is the only new addition to the team. Everybody else is the same. So, oh, look, here's the mini books that I'm making. Aren't they cute? And then, of course, I have a couple variants. I have 2 more in the works that are not up yet. And then I have to start posting pictures of some of the exclusives. I'm going to have more bracelets. I'm going to have another mug. We'll see. We'll see what else I can come up with. But this, of course, is the variant by Gerald Von Stoddard. Hi, Dylan. Good morning. And then each one of these is going to get a gold treatment, a unique gold ink treatment done by yours truly. So these are going to be numbered. I haven't decided if I'm doing 25 or 50 of these, but we're going to do a limited number, and then they're all going to be unique and they're going to be blind bagged. So you'll have a chance to get something really cool. And then, of course, this one is going to be rainbow foil. This was the painting that Fernando redrew from issue 8 because it's going to be important in issue 9. Surprise, surprise. And Matt colored it, and then I tweaked it with some Photoshop. But I think this is going to be gorgeous in rainbow foil, don't you? I think so. Anywho, let me drop that link for issue 9 in the chat. And people, I know, asking you guys to sign up for pre-launch, but the reason why is because the Kickstarter algorithm. So what happens is that the more followers you have, Kickstarter tends to push you towards the front. And that's, to people who are new to Path, who have never seen us before. And so what we're doing is trying to get, more followers to follow. Come along, you belong. Don't you want to know where death is? And I keep telling people, like, issue 9, I know. Who? Issue 9 is very heavy on answers. I know you guys have been waiting. If you can't figure out in issue 9 where death is, I will answer that question in issue 10. I think you can figure it out. You're in Rome today, Gerald? Well, hello. Welcome from Rome, international traveler. Anywho, enough about me. Let me bring in my guest for today. You all know him. And if you don't, welcome to the party. Everybody welcome Carl Bourne. Hello. How are you? Doing well? You got chihuahuas?
Yes.
Plural, chihuahuas.
Yeah. Here comes another one. Right?
Hi.
They have to be the center of attention.
I love it. They're just like babies. They really are. Like they're perpetually 3,
Yeah.
It's like
or terrible 2 in some cases.
Yes. Yay, I'm a Carl fan. Yay. I know. Hands off the Carl. Carl's one of us. So, Gerald. Wait, teasing Gerald. So, Carl, being that it's your first time on the Brew, we're going to welcome you, but we also want to hear your origin story. You and I have talked in the Rolling Squid Bones chat, but I still don't know how you started. So I would love to hear from you how you got started into comics, what you were kind of like reading that inspired you. Ultimately, what was it that, made you pull the trigger and decide to do comics?
Well, I never really do anything on purpose. It just happens.
You're a pantser. All right.
I never, like every kid reads comic books and draws dinosaurs and dragons and whatnot. And
This was
I don't
not
know,
me.
everyone else stopped, and I just kept doing it.
See, but that wasn't how I started in comics. See, that's what I'm talking about. We all come a little differently, but I love how everybody can kind of just come to indie comics, So
Oh, yeah.
you were drawing kind of comics on your own as a kid?
Yeah, I've never really been interested in doing artwork that didn't have a story to go with it.
Okay.
If I was just drawing whatever, a guy fighting a dragon or whatever, I would always be making up a story in my head, even if it was just one drawing. I don't know. It's just I can't. I don't want to draw flowers. Yes, I'll go to a museum and look at Van Gogh's flowers and I'll think they're beautiful, but it doesn't inspire me to do that. But when I looked at comics when I was a kid and like Frank Frazetta book covers and stuff, I'd be like, okay, I want to do that.
Yeah.
It sparked my imagination more.
So, high school, college, you went to art school.
A lot of art school.
I also went to art school, but I don't use any of my art school. But
okay.
you actually do.
It was always comics, right? Because everyone would look at my art and push animation, and I'm like, I don't want to draw the same thing 1,000 times. And then still, when you go see the movie, if you blink, you miss it.
Yes.
And especially since I like to write as much as I like to draw, or almost as much. Comics just made sense. I think it was The Dark Knight Returns. I closed that book after the last page, and I was like, okay, I know what I want to do. So I went to the Kubert School.
Okay.
And then I've always been a big fan of school. I know you don't have to go to school to do indie comics because there's no
Right.
rules in indie comics. Anything goes. Any way you want to do it, you can do it. But I ended up going back to school again when I was in my 40s for a couple years, and I just take random classes here and there. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of school. I think it really helps, especially when you get stuck in a rut. As you get older, it's harder to improve, and that really helps.
I'm with you there. I think that sometimes school just having a project that makes you think outside the box. You know what I mean? Do something a little bit different, try a different method, could really change your own style drastically. Hey, it's
Yeah,
Jared.
well,
Hey,
and
Jared.
sometimes it's not even the teachers; it's being exposed to all
To
the
other
other
students.
students and what they're doing. Especially when you
Yeah,
get older and you see what you're in your 40s and you get to see what people in their 20s are doing. It really helps revitalize your imagination.
I agree. Or it could be like I don't know. When I was in art school, I took photography, and it was classic, dark room photography, film, black and white. And at that time, it was like writing across the curriculum. So even though we were in art school, you still had to write papers and you had to give presentations and stuff like that. And so our research project was researching another photographer from history and then trying to emulate their style. And so just even trying to like emulate someone else's style so it looks similar. Again,
Mhm.
it's like it's changing your own style slightly. Do you adapt? Do you take on some of that? You know what I mean? It's pretty interesting. Hey, good morning, Lou.
Yeah, we had that assignment called they call it the human Xerox. You had to copy like a splash page or something line for line to see how well you could do it. It's really hard.
Interesting. Yeah.
I I draw from a bunch of different artists. I'm not influenced by any one in particular, so that assignment was really hard for me.
Mm. Sorry, we see
I
people walking in the background like,
I'm
come on,
sorry.
you're fine.
They'll be gone soon.
So
My
go ahead, go ahead.
oh, so no, it's just my girlfriend leaves for work in about 10, 15 minutes. So
Gotcha. She's got to get ready, man. Get your
yeah,
coffee. That's right. You got to get it.
because
Um,
it's
so my question is when you decided, so when you closed the Batman book and you were like, this is what I want to do. What steps did you take? Like, did you have ideas already written down? Did you start writing? Did you start drawing? Like, how did you get from there to where you are now with White Wolf?
um I mean I was already just drawing comic books
Hmm.
for myself, and maybe not doing so well in school because my algebra notebook had more pictures of Wolverine in it than formulas and uh, so I mean really the only thing was just to convince my parents to let me go to the Kubert school instead of college. That was the hard part. It's like, you're not
Yeah.
going to get a degree. I'm like, oh, I don't think I'm going to get a degree anyway. So,
Right. I mean, school isn't for everybody, right? And two, it's like if you're not, I don't know. It's like they push math and science and it's like who really uses math? I don't use math or science ever.
yeah, I mean, when I went back to school in my 40s,
Yeah.
I actually really liked it.
Math?
But yeah, 18, not math, but everything else.
Yeah.
But 18-year-old me was not ready for college.
No, and a lot of people aren't at 18. So, I don't know. Jared says, copying is a good way to learn. I think all artists did that starting out. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of times you're picking someone who has developed a style that's interesting, right? And you're trying to copy that and understand their process. And so I think that's, I mean, starting out, but then eventually you have to develop your own voice. Eventually, I would hope.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, you got to make that break eventually. I mean,
Yeah, me too. Addition and subtraction. Yeah, that's who cares about the rest of that.
I mean,
But
I ended up in the military to make a living, and I had to do algebra to load cargo aircraft. You got to find the center of balance. Um,
when was this?
I just did. uh, 26 years in the military. That's
Oh, is
all.
that all?
Um,
Just a minor stint. What?
no, I mean, but most of it was in the reserves. I
Okay.
thought, because, being the starving artist, I thought, okay, the reserves is medical benefits and a retirement plan, plus a
Hmm.
couple $100 a month, like, and then, what do you do when you're an artist and you can't make a living? You go to the family business, and the family business in my family is either teaching or the military.
Huh. Interesting.
And I didn't get the right degree to become a teacher. The Cooper School diploma doesn't let you become
Oh,
a
no. I mean, you
I mean,
could.
yeah.
You could. I'm just saying. Make a YouTube tutorials. And
Remember, I'm 54 years old, so that stuff didn't exist back then. You couldn't self-publish back then unless you had, an extra 3 grand laying around in the bank
yeah.
and knew
Gosh.
people that I don't know how you would ever know. Like, um, so yeah, that was a not a big thing back then. I think Cerebus was the only book I remember actually being successful,
Hmm.
totally self-published. Not a smaller company. It was 100% self-published.
Yeah. It's funny because when I talk to people who have been in the business for even just 10 years, how vastly different it is now than from 10 years ago. But I mean, like, if you go back like 20 years ago, it's just like it was either traditional publishing or nothing. And you had to know somebody.
And it changed so fast. I mean, when I was
Yeah.
going to school, no one really even knew what Photoshop was. 2 years after I graduated, if you went to an interview and they were like, "Do you know Photoshop?" and you said no, the interview was done. They're like, "All right, we can't use you."
Wow. Isn't
Yeah,
that
it changed
crazy?
quick. I literally had a paste ups and mechanicals class where you would get stuff ready for the printer by cutting it out and pasting it down and measuring it
Wow.
all out and doing crop marks, all that stuff that the computer, is doing by hand, but for you,
Yeah.
we did it by hand. That was my first year of school. By the third year of school, that class was obsolete.
Oh my god. That's crazy. And you're like, I just spent all this money.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
then I learned Quark Express, which doesn't even exist anymore. That's
I was
gone
I
now.
don't even know what that
The
is.
more I get into computers, the more I just want to go back to traditional. I'm like, I'll use the computer to scan my work in. I don't.
Right. I don't think I could actually draw like because again, I went to art school and I took life drawing and I took 2D art, 3D art, painting, blah 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 blah. So traditionally, I could still be an artist if I, knock some cobwebs out of the brain, but I tried drawing on the iPad and it's not the same.
I
It's
can't. I mean,
not.
that's kind of how my style developed. Just I just don't I can't draw on anything but paper. I need
Yeah.
a pencil or a brush or a pen. And it's the tactile sense,
Hmm.
and then that's probably my generation. I didn't grow up with it, so and I don't adapting to it. I feel like would make me worse. Um, some people get better. Just for me personally, it just doesn't work.
See, I appreciate the people that still draw traditionally, but then it's like you have to be able to scan, like you said, scan it into the computer. A lot of times people are, hey, William, a lot of times people are inking and coloring digitally, but it's still like when you have so many people touching one comic, so you do everything, which is amazing, and we're gonna show off some of your art here shortly. But it's like I write it, and then like Fernando draws it and inks it, and then it goes to Matt, and then Matt has to color it, and then it comes back to me to letter, and then we have to upload the pages for our editor Rachel, and we're all over the place too. And so it's just you still have to appreciate that digital world, which lets you collaborate globally, really,
Yeah,
with a
yeah,
team.
that's the great thing. Yeah, the person you're working with doesn't have to live down the street. It can be on the
No,
other side
William
of
is
the
the same.
country.
William is the same. He likes to draw traditionally and then scan it, and then someone will color it for him too. So,
Yeah,
absolutely. Lou says, I went from traditional to iPad. I can still do both. I
nice.
still do both. Yeah. I feel like in this postmodern world, I don't know where we are right now in the Terminator calendar, but we're getting close to that AI takeover where it's like, just put us in a zoo and let us draw all day, feed us popcorn.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Jared says, I started copying Eastman and Laird, went to copying Adam Kubert because of Wolverine. I was hard finding my own style, not sure I have it yet. So many influences that seem to combine themselves. Yeah.
What
It's
they
just it's just publishing. No more desktop
yeah,
publishing.
good. That's well said. What they taught me in school was really helpful because you really agonize your first couple of years over style,
Mhm.
and they say don't do that. Don't even think about style. Do what you like. Research the best artists you can find, and the style comes naturally. When you try to force a style, you almost accidentally become dishonest with the style. It should just come naturally. If you try to force it, you'll end up copying someone too much.
Yeah. And that's the risk is like when you do that one style too much, it's like, are you using their voice or are you using your voice at that point? So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
One, it's just
yeah,
that conscious effort. I don't want to get too esoteric, but that conscious effort kind of destroys
the creative
you
process.
tapping into your unconscious.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. All right, I want to show off some of these series. So you are a writer artist, which is there's only a handful of you guys out there. I've talked to a few of you. Fishley is one of them as well.
Yeah.
And the style that you have now, again, what's the medium that you use primarily? Is it pencil, color, pencil?
It's usually pencil, sometimes charcoal.
Mm-hmm.
About six different pencils going from hard, dark to light, hard to soft.
Gotcha. So I want you guys to look at some of this. So this is chapter 1 of White Wolf, or book 1 of White Wolf, which is incredible. So if you look at this, so again, he's an Aztec warrior returned from 100 reincarnations, the experience of 100 lifetimes living as hunters and soldiers now in his memories. He has come to save our world and reclaim his lost love. Or he is a history professor with schizophrenia, taking every drug known to man, but the ones prescribed to him. So, a lot going on there. How in the heck did you come up with this idea?
So originally, I was playing it straight. Like I came up with this idea for this character. I think he was probably influenced a lot by the movie Highlander.
Okay,
I
yeah, yeah.
wanted this immortal guy, but I wanted him to earn that immortality. By having to be reincarnated 100 times, and every lifetime he would be killed tragically. So because we learn more from our mistakes, this is an idea I came up with in art school. They always push that you're going to learn more from your mistakes. Don't get so upset about them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, if he's got 100, tragic mistakes, literally, that killed him now in his memory, and every life was he was like a samurai or a knight or something, Civil War soldier, whatever. Now he's got all these skills, but then there's going to be other people like him, and I was going to have him hunt monsters and stuff like that, and I was going to have him kind of look like a ghost. He was going to be all white, long hair. But I realized that was probably a cool idea for a character, and this is a mistake a lot of new people make. They come up with a great idea for a character, but a character isn't a story.
Right.
And I didn't really have any stories that I thought were original. So I just put the idea on the shelf. I don't kill my darlings. I chain them up in the basement for later use.
That's all right. They
So
can always come back
later
later.
on, a couple things happened. One, I was reading Don Quixote.
Yes.
I
Okay.
was like, oh, this guy thinks he's a knight because knights were the heroes back then. I'm like, well, in this day and age, we have these cheesy like action heroes.
Yes.
Like that kind of made me think of my character that I created. And then the other thing was I was watching the original Terminator movie
Yes.
where they were, and it wasn't an action scene that influenced me. It was the police station scene where they're interviewing Reese, and the police psychologist is so impressed that he's got this perfect circuit of a world in his imagination that cannot be proven, but it cannot be disproven either.
Hmm.
And I was like, and then they were talking to Linda Hamilton about, how somebody on PCP can smash through a window and break their hand and you'll never know it. And they have superhuman strength and all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, it kind of turns you into a superhero, but with consequences, right?
Right.
I'm like, what if that was the movie? What if it wasn't really a robot from the future? What if it was a couple of just people who were insane?
Oh no,
They
Carl.
kinda, I like to flip the script. That's a great way to come up with ideas, is to flip the script. So
That
that,
makes me
again, that made
upset
me think
because
of
I
this
have read
character I
this.
created.
Like, I'm attached to these characters, and but here's the thing: this first chapter, wherein is related the way a fantastic hero is born into a droll world. And he says, I study wolves and I just drank the wrong tea. And I was like, what tea did he just drink?
Yeah,
Is it the PCPT? Is that what he just had?
there's a there's a lot of mushrooms and ayahuasca going on in this story.
Oh my God.
Um, I mean, it's from Mexico. He's in Mexico.
Right.
There's a commentary too here on, it's kind of influenced by Idiocracy. This guy is supposed to be a grad student, studying wolves and other animals, and he decides to try and become a YouTube influencer. He's like because I said Don Quixote. He's like the Sancho Panza characters, following the White Wolf character around, filming all his exploits, trying to make money off of it, giving up on science.
Yeah.
That kind of gives away a lot of the first issue, but it's been out for a while, so.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, like his dream sequences and like this right here, I was like, he looks like a caterpillar, this character. And it's like, does he become something else after this moment? You know what I mean? Because it's a metamorphosis that he's going through in this book.
Yes. Yes.
Is it drug fueled or an awakening or
I mean, that's
or
people use.
reincarnation, a spiritual path? Who knows? But he's definitely metamorphosizing. Is that a word?
People use those drugs for that. So, and it,
Drank the good tea.
with proper set and setting and guide, it can be a good thing if you just do it.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're gonna get.
Don't think on style, just let it happen. I started to get back into digital. Traditional takes up too much space. That's a good point. That's
Digital is better for commercial art. It really is. I have to,
Draw a bunch of rough and then scan and finish digitally. Pretty rare if I finish the actual pencil drawing anymore. Mine just roughs it. Practicing physical means a lot of paper and pencil. Yeah, but that's inexpensive. You know what I mean? A pad of paper and a pencil.
Yeah, I don't discount the digital because so I still buy paper and pencils, but by using Photoshop to paint now, I had saved a lot of money and time and space. So I totally get.
I get both.
Yeah.
I still get, like, people still buy me sketch pads for Christmas and stocking stuffers and stuff.
Well, that's a good way to come up with ideas. Just sit there and doodle.
Yeah. And I mean, it doesn't run out of batteries or overheat, and you won't get glare when you're sitting outside. So you can take the pad of paper just anywhere. You know what I mean? Here he is, Caterpillar Man. In this moment, he's like, ah, what the hell was that? Just some naked dude comes out of the snow, runs off. He's like, did I imagine this?
That's a common theme in the book too. Like, is this real? Is this really happening?
Right. And here he is. He's got a fanny pack on and nothing else.
Pink socks as well.
What? Oh, and socks. Yeah, I'm sorry. He found some socks. But his first
move
is to steal drugs from a cartel. Like,
what was that?
I said his first move. Well, first of all, this move is badass. So he lights a blanket on fire and then gets the guy. I was like, that's genius. Like, that's a great move tactically, because he can't see and he's on fire. So he's no longer a threat to you. So I only got to focus on the other one. So I was like, genius. That's a good move. Sock to the face. But he takes out these two drug guys. and steals their van. Like, this can't be good. Like, this is how we're starting? And the guy's like, I'm not really sure what's going on. I love it.
I figure he's kind of mimicking the audience. Like, what the hell
Yeah.
happened?
Where is it? There's sometimes, like, when he just says stuff that's so funny.
That it's a hard sell, this book, because what genre is it?
Really?
I don't know. And because there's a lot of dark comedy in it too. There's a lot of action. It's also
Yeah.
kind of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Like,
Yeah. Fear and Loathing Las Vegas meets like a supernatural. Hmm. We'll figure it out before the end of the show.
okay,
But I'm just cracking up. Like, he just leaves him there. He's like, bye, I'll be back. He's like, I need to talk to Death. Are you familiar with astral projection? And just like, whoosh, out he goes.
no,
Just leaves
no,
him. And meanwhile, there's a giant shark. He's like, oh, F my life. Like, I was laughing. I was just like, oh, Lord. It's like, who are all these people down here? Have me asking questions right here, Carl. What? Why? Why a shark this big?
I'm
Is
just
he a?
obsessed with megalodons.
He just wanted to draw a giant shark.
Well, in a couple more pages, it kind of explains it. Basically, there's a sea monster there, and you see it as you would see a sea monster, right? Because they're all
Yeah.
tripping. Like, the other character sees an Aztec sea monster, and he's
Right.
like, "Oh, you're seeing a shark because you study science. Like, that's a sea monster to you is a megalodon, or a giant squid or something. Like, you're seeing something real, or at least used to be real. Like,
Yeah. This was what I was talking about, where I was like, I'm in hell, but I still have 3 bars. And someone on the phone is like, holy shit, do not
yeah,
stop live streaming this. It's like,
yeah. That's that again. That's the idiocracy influence on this thing.
it's like, maybe you should put the phone down and try to save yourself. No?
Yeah. And I mean, I shouldn't spoil it, but you find out in issue 3 what really happened is they just parked on the beach and they're tripping so hard they couldn't get out of the van as high tide rolled in.
Oh no.
And paranoia set in as the van is sinking underwater. Paranoia just sets in more and more. It just
No,
never occurred to them
Carl.
they could open the door and get out until the main character finally he's passed out, so he finally wakes up.
Gosh, look at all the detail though in here. It's like
And this is I've
underwater.
done a ton of nonfiction research. I always do that for my stories.
Yeah.
So like in the Aztec world, they believe the portals to the underworld, like you know,
Sin-
they don't really have a heaven or hell, but the time after you die, the caves and especially like underwater caves get you to that world.
yeah, they're cenotes, if I say that right. Cenotes.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. And there's a lot of similarities with the Mayans as well, and all the cultures. They borrowed a lot from each other. A lot of times they're just changing names,
Hmm.
kind of like Greek and Roman mythology.
And this sucks, man. He again, I love this part where he's like, I have to talk to Death, and Death is the giant thing, and then there's this witch. And apparently he made a if I'm understanding this correctly, he made a bargain with her to be reincarnated, to be and then reunited with his love at some point. But the world is ending, so they like stopped reincarnating people? Is that it?
He's the last one. They reincarnated. A lot of people. There's this ceremonial knife. If you're killed with it, then you start that process of being reincarnated 100 times to gain your immortality. Um, and then, so he was the last one killed with the knife. And the idea is these people who gained immortality are supposed to better the world.
Hmm.
That's what the witch bet on. And the death is like, I don't think they're going to use that power for anything but greed, for anything but
Yeah.
themselves. And that's what she comments on. You're the only one who wanted this power for reasons of love, to be
Yeah.
reunited with your lost love. And that's also based on a true Aztec legend.
Really?
The mountain that's next to the volcano.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a story that there was an Aztec prince who went off to war, and it was reported that he died. So the princess he was going to marry committed suicide. Then he comes back from the war, sees that it's very Shakespearean, right? He
Yeah.
sees that he's dead, but he kills himself.
So she's the mountain and he's the volcano.
Yeah, he's the angry volcano next to the sleeping mountain.
Good story. I was laughing at this van under the water. You're not supposed to be here. What? Yeah, and so here it is, guys. So we see the shark, and then in the bottom one it's like, here, this is what this soul sees. What's the name of do we know the names of all these characters?
The characters?
Yeah.
So Sancho is the guy with the phone.
Okay, Sancho.
Now the other guy, we just call him the shaman.
The shaman, okay.
Yeah. At the end, and then Popo, I can't even pronounce the Aztec name, but the shortened version for the main character is just Popo.
Got it.
It's kind of the nickname. But you find out at the end they just have totally normal names. But
stop. Spoil egg. Totally got his legs bit off. Cool. Like, this is such a great page too, where it's like his hand above the water, trying to escape.
Yeah, this is so I really wanted to do a Southwest book, because I live in Tucson, and the visuals out here are amazing. What you had out here is a collision of Aztec culture and art and stories and everything with Spanish Catholicism. So you can see the Aztec creatures and stuff in the beginning. You saw the calendar, the stone calendar, and all that he sacrificed on. But here also you can see the influence of like the Catholic art. He looks in a couple pages before, he looks kind of like an angel almost.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to save the world, and schizophrenic people tend to have religious hallucinations, like the top right there. And they tend to think they're immortal, which then all of a sudden his character makes a lot more sense when you know that.
How much study did you do into schizophrenia for the book?
I read some articles. I read a full book, and I did research on what happens when you use hallucinogenic drugs or whatever while you're on schizophrenia. Really bad idea. Don't do that.
Yeah.
And it actually changed the story, but if I tell you how it changed the story,
no, don't. You already spoiled
it'll
it.
ruin issue 3, so I'm not going to do
don't
that.
spoil it.
Yeah.
Now this one, I just wanted to. I'm not going to show off the rest of the book. You guys have to read it. There's a lot going on in here, but I just love this panel right here, where it's like there's zombies and they're eating people, and he looks over and says, "My girlfriend has a new Instagram post," and I was just like, "What?" It's like he can't believe his circumstances. You know what I mean? And they're all like, "Run!" And he's just like, "Hey, look, my girlfriend has a new Instagram post."
Yeah. And a lot of this is from research, like that whole thing with all the migrants on the train. That's real. I read a whole book on that. I watched a lot of YouTube videos and read articles about it. Yeah, people that just ride the top of the trains to get to northern Mexico.
Yes.
To then come illegally into the U.S., just trying to find a better life. But then also life experience. I used to live in the French Quarter. Had a lot of friends that did a lot of drugs. Had a lot of misadventures. Some tragic, some hilarious. So that was a big influence.
What's the name of this train? Like, they have a name for it. It's like the Dragon or something.
The Beast.
The Beast.
Yeah, or La Bestia.
Yeah, it's a specific train.
Well, it is. It's more than one train, but it is a certain route.
Yeah. Really dangerous, but
yeah, a lot of people fall off. A lot of people have lost limbs or died, and that's where the zombies are coming from, like the unhappy dead.
Yeah.
Kind of like a trail of tears.
Hmm. So this is book 2, everyone. I'm just going to show you the cover, those couple spots, but gorgeous, gorgeous book. Definitely a lot of fun. Um, you would enjoy reading this series if you like what I like. If you like Path, I recommend it. And where is it? I just
A
wanted to
lot of
show you
people
guys.
compared it to like your Vertigo, like your early '90s Vertigo books. I was
Yeah,
also influenced a lot by the old heavy metal hurlant
yeah,
stories.
I could see that
Um,
too.
and that's a common thing too. Like in Europe, people write and draw all the
Yeah,
time. It's totally normal there.
like Gerald in Rome.
Yes, yes.
And Fish Lee, who is not in Europe, but he's in the South. So that's kind of like Europe. Not even close. Um, right now, everybody, I just wanted to share that book number 3, White Wolf, is on Kickstarter and live. So I'm going to drop the link real quick for you guys. You're almost funded.
Yeah, I'm like one or two backers away from getting funded.
So, you watching here on the show today, you could be Carl's personal savior and push this over funded. What do you say?
And this is a complete story too. This is issue 3. It's a 3-issue limited series.
Oh, it
So
is?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Are you planning on making a trade for this to put them all together?
Mhm. Yeah,
Yes?
I was gonna say thanks to Rolling Squid Bones, I'm gonna have that pocket size, like 6x9 trade.
Nice. Cuz that's what I want. I want them all in one book. So
Yeah,
I did the digital on this one just so I want to support, and I wanted to get them all. This was there an option for that and I missed it?
yeah.
It's just not out yet.
It was like the last thing I uploaded.
Hmm.
The trade is probably like the last thing I uploaded, but it's on there.
Here it is.
It's way cheaper too. I didn't realize what a good deal that was going to be until I put it into the printer's website.
Yeah. All right. Well, then I'm going to change my pledge to this one
Now,
because
I
that's
have to say, if you really, really like the art, it is designed to be, in the magazine size format, like
yeah.
this, these double page spreads and everything. That's going to look the best. But it is a lot more money.
Do you have that option on here, the magazine size too?
Yeah, you can get all 3, and you can get them in color or black and white.
Gotcha. There's so many. I mean, like, I don't know. I run a campaign so differently. You have a lot of choices, but they're all book.
It's all books. Yeah, I don't do that. There's some original art
Yeah.
as add-ons, but that's pretty much it. I really need to do more swag or something. Books don't make you a lot of money, but that's just where my talent is. I'm thinking maybe sculpture. I used to be good at sculpture. I showed promise for that in art school. I, I think making a sculpture and then getting it 3D printed might help sales a lot, might help extra stuff.
People
But this
just
kind of
like,
story, I don't think lends itself to, keychains and
well, maybe not
stuff like
keychains,
that.
but bookmarks. People love T-shirts too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I
We're
mean,
gonna have to talk
the
about
art's
this
already
because I haven't
there.
put a lot of thought into anything but the book. And I know you're a marketing
I'm on the
in
other
the
side.
indie
Or I'm
comics
like,
world,
look at
you're the
this.
marketing genius.
I'm like, hey, look at this and look at that, and now we have body pillows of Jude. Um, that would be hilarious. You need tea. You need your own
Oh,
tea.
yeah. Somebody was saying edibles.
Well, I don't know if you can do that. I think Kickstarter might put that.
Yeah, I could. That would
Put
have to
that
be
under.
like you could come to the convention in Tucson and pick it up because everything's
Right.
legal here. But you're not. I'm not going to ship it to you, especially not
No.
if you're in Texas.
Yee. Wink, wink. I'm excited
Oh
for
yeah.
this.
I was gonna do. I didn't have time. I was gonna do an Aztec death whistle,
Ooh, that would be cool.
and I was
Hey,
gonna, but
Carrie.
I kind of wrote that. I had to shorten the story to get it to fit. Hello, Carrie. To into 3 issues, so I
Hmm.
kind of cut that scene out where he uses one. I don't know if you ever heard one. It is the scariest sound in the world.
Aren't they weird?
Yeah.
What is it? I've heard the they 3D printed like a larynx for a dinosaur too.
Hmm.
Like so I've heard those. But I think I have heard the death whistle. I can't quite remember what it sounded like though.
This sounds like a ghost screaming in pain. It's all over YouTube, but they sell like basic, really basic 3D printed Aztec death whistles. So I was like, oh, I can get with a 3D printer and add my designs to it, but keep it functional. Keep the insides
Interesting.
the same.
Jared.
Yeah, but
Jared.
I wanted to get this done so I could move on to other projects. So I kind of gave myself a tight deadline here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, got 25 days left. Oh, look at that. We're $2 away. Someone do it. Someone do it. Oh, you know what? I will do it because
If you switch to that trade,
I'm going to switch to the trade and you'll be funded. Yep. I'm just going to take it off the screen so I don't dox myself, okay? Which I've done before. I was like,
oh,
I'm going
no.
to back it. And I was like, maybe not do that. Let's see. Do.
I have some of the original art here too. Like this is the cover.
Here, let me make you big so you
There
can
won't
show
be a
it off.
glare on it. This is the cover for issue 2.
So beautiful. I'm glad that you have that framed in your house, man.
It's a cheap frame, but it keeps it from getting damaged.
Right.
Like this is a double page spread of the people riding the train.
Wow. Congratulations, you are funded.
Thank you.
Let me put it on the screen and then refresh and it'll show you.
You might find something extra in your mailer since you're the one that got me 100%.
Woo! 514! Bravo! Congrats.
That's the fastest I've ever funded.
That's amazing. Carl, send me what you want and I will rush print it. You can paint it. So Jared will print stuff for you, including a death whistle?
I don't know how to do that though. That's the thing, because it's not just doing it. I have to learn how to do it. I don't know anything about 3D printing.
But Jared knows how to do it because Jared is the one that's making the files for him to print. So you guys can talk about that later.
Yeah. Well, can you add something on? You can add in the middle of the campaign, right? You just can't change prices or take anything away.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, you can actually end a tier as well, but you can add a new tier. People do it all the time. I do it for people that are like, I want this, but I don't want that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I have this in a bundle, but they're like, I don't want all the things. I just want 2 of those things. And it's like, all right.
Yeah.
I usually make a tier for their name. Hi, Carrie. Carrie, you got some work set out for you, lady. You got to do some fan art. Carrie loves to make fan art, and I always like seeing her growth. She's been on an art journey and she's making some really great strides. I've gotten some beautiful art from Carrie, but gosh, Carrie, if you could make some White Wolf art, challenge accepted.
I always want to see other people's version of the feathered serpent, the Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah. Let me go back.
Although some people hate drawing animals, and basically he's just like 2 animals mixed together.
He's crazy looking. Let me go back. I'll go to the first one. Carrie, this one. Nope, I'm on the wrong. There we go. Here you go, Carrie. Challenge accepted. It's a snake bird, right? That's what.
Yeah. What I did is I looked. There's a huge stone sculpture.
Yeah.
So I looked at that, and then I looked at pictures of actual. He's based on a rattlesnake. He actually has rattles on his tail. So then I looked at pictures of a lot of different snakes, but especially rattlesnakes, and then of course, bird, like owl and eagle wings.
Yeah, it's a very interesting creature to say the least. Yeah, this is it. Snake bird. How do you even spell it? I'm gonna spell it in the chat.
Good grief, yeah.
Qut. Z.
A lot of times it's easier just to type in feathered serpent, like to Google images or Pinterest or something. Yeah.
Yes, you can. There's lots of different versions, but this is Carl's version. So yeah. See, that's the thing is this is Carl's book. Amazing, amazing art. Some really cool stuff in here, Carrie, you would really like. Heck yeah. And he just funded on Kickstarter like 2 minutes ago. So it's guaranteed we all get our books. Huzzah. So when you're talking about your schedule and should we start now? Let's play Would You Hug This before I go off on another tangent in a different direction. Let's do that. So I'm gonna bring up the thing and close this out and we'll do that. All right. And gird your loins, everybody, because off we go. Welcome to Would You Hug This Carl edition. It's White Wolf edition, so you're going to see lots of images, and I think you would hug most of these things. And it's kind of like spoilers with no context for the viewers, so they can decide if they're going to hug things or not based off of what's on the screen. My loins need no girding. You don't know what I have in this selection today. What? I just noticed, Carl, does she whip you too? What? I'm confused. Congrats, Carl. You deserve it, sir. Yes. You feel so used. Why? Oh, my goodness. All right. We're going to start out easy. It's a white wolf. Beautiful, beautiful eyes. Are we hugging this white wolf, Carl? Yes?
If it's been domesticated.
It's been fed recently, so.
Yeah, I would hug it. I don't think people realize just how dangerous a wolf is, but
right.
People fighting them in movies all the time. I'm like, no, that's not how that works.
No, it would just go for your jugular and you would be done.
Well, they're fast, and also they measured the bite. It's the pounds of pressure per square inch is double what a German Shepherd bites.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass. They're so pretty, but I don't want to. No, I changed my mind. Plus, I feel like I would need one of those like the hair rollers for a week.
Yeah.
How can you say no with that? Carl said he would hug this wolf. I'm the one that's gonna pass. I'm too afraid. My answers are in the sticker form on Pilled. Let's go look. Pop said, "Give me here and give me a hug." It's cute. I like it. All right, what do we got next here? Oh, look at this, Katzel. Katzel. It's a little cutie one, Carrie. See?
Yeah.
Would you hug this one, Carl?
Of course.
I would hug this one. It looks like it's pocket-sized. It has scales and feathers, and it looks like it has a boop snoot.
He's smiling.
I think I'm hugging this one. See, Carrie, maybe you can draw this one. Yeah? Make a little cutie one. Are you guys hugging this Quetzalcoatl, this little happy freak of nature? I don't know.
That's an easy one.
Yeah. We hugging this shark?
I mean, he probably needs a hug.
Can you ride him like a surfboard? I'm not hugging this. Because I'm afraid of the ocean. I'm not going in. So anywhere that this thing could be, I'm not there. So that's step one. But you like sharks. Are you
I'm actually terrified of sharks.
You are, okay. I ain't going. I ain't hugging this thing. You can't pay me money. No.
I don't know. If it's a megalodon, he wouldn't even notice me. You just hug the tip of his fin. He wouldn't even. He just keeps swimming by. I'm not even big enough to be food for him.
Right. You're just a pest. Can't bite you if he's being hugged. Science!
That settles it. I'm hugging him.
You just have to hang on to the dorsal fin for your life.
Yeah,
It's like grabbing the
yeah.
tiger by the tail. It's like you could never let go. Sorry. Jared, you're hugging this thing too, then I take it. I ain't hugging it. We did have some undead in your book.
That looks really familiar. What is that from?
This one is the 2004 remake of Dawn of the Dead by Zack Snyder.
Oh,
Um, she was quite vicious, actually. I ain't hugging this.
no.
No? I mean, she took out a full grown man. This one. There's some chum in he won't see. Speaking of chum, Exhibit A. Can throw that in the water. All right, so we're passing on the young undead lady. We're not hugging
No.
this one.
No zombies.
Um,
Oh, that thing again.
I just had to throw it in there because everybody has to be accosted with the rabbit. You're not hugging the wart rabbit.
It's a virus, right?
It's like it's a HPV virus. It's a wart. It's a warty growth.
Does
Woody.
it transmit to humans?
We have our own HPV.
I know.
It's like, we don't want this one, hopefully, but this one affects rabbits and squirrels.
Yeah. Well, if it doesn't affect humans, I'll give him a hug. I think he needs a hug.
No. There's always somebody who's going to be case zero, patient zero, right? So,
yeah, but I don't think you can get it from a hug.
I'm too close. What if it bites you? I don't know. What if it scratches you?
No, I'll hug him. I'm not going to make out with him, but I'll hug him.
I'm drop kicking this thing across the field. Don't touch me. Bye.
See, that's why he needs love. That's why I'm hugging him, because everyone else is going to treat him like you're treating him.
He needs a hug, but if he's too close to me, I'm drop kicking it. I'm not ain't doing it. All right, now Carl has some super interesting characters in his book. One that kind of looks like this, but there's death out there too. So, are we hugging death?
Yeah.
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 Elaborate, please. I need more information.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I guess just for a long time, I was this stereotypical punk dude that always had a goth girlfriend. And so, yeah, I'm going to hug a chick like that.
Yeah. I don't know. She has that look to her. I think it's her eyes. It's definitely not her nose, though.
No, I'm not attracted to the nose. But...
yeah. But it's like, how can you? I mean, I still look at this and think she's beautiful, which is weird.
Sex and death, man. They sell books.
I'm with you. Yeah, I was like, if you go look at my books, yeah. I was like, it's Lola. All right, we have a warrior here. I'm not sure exactly.
Stabbing his own leg?
He is, and I didn't really notice that until it was much bigger. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'll give him a hug.
This guy needs a hug.
He needs a hug. He won't admit he needs a hug, so he needs a hug even more just for that reason.
This could be intimidation. I have seen people do this before. So I took martial arts for a long time, and I have friends of mine, big dudes that are martial artists, and understand that a lot of times the mind play is the right way to go to avoid an actual fight. So a buddy of mine, big dude, was in a bar, and there was like 4 guys that wanted to fight him for I don't know why. And his answer was to pick up a fork and stab himself in the arm and say, okay, now I'm ready. And that ended the fight. They were like, we don't want to mess with this guy. He stabs himself. So this is what I think is going on here. I'm going to say that this guy is like, all right, I'm ready to fight you.
Gets the adrenaline going.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, blood is what they sacrificed, right? I mean, usually they literally cut out someone's heart, but it was blood, you know. Blood is what made the sun come up every day.
Fish says, if
And
death
I
had
was
a nice
thinking,
rack.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, I didn't want to get into it because I know you'll talk about it forever, but I did used to study martial arts too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Which
and I was
one?
thinking the hug between us would be like, like two boxers at the end of a match hugging.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. That's awesome.
I'm tough, you're tough. Yeah.
Yeah. Fish says if death had a nice rack, most of us guys are done for. Well, that's
He's right.
that says something. Yeah, you recognize this, Carl? Do you?
Not this particular picture, but I know why you picked it.
This is from the movie Kids.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Wow.
this character was like, I got no legs.
Yeah.
I got
I
no
haven't seen that
legs.
movie in so long. Yeah, he needs a hug.
He needs a hug.
I might throw my back out getting down there, but
You might have to put him in a backpack, like in your book.
yes. Yes.
For those that don't understand the humor behind this, you have to read the second issue. It's really funny.
Kind of a Chewbacca's C-3PO thing going on.
Yeah. I didn't even put that together until you just said it. It's like, put him in a backpack.
I didn't think of that until after I drew it. I'm like, where does this shit come from? I'm like, oh yeah, I've overdosed on weird my whole life. Of course I'm going to produce weird stuff. Like,
I put this in here and I was like, I hope he thinks I'm not crazy. I was like, well, never mind. We're both part of Rolling Squid Bones. He knows I'm crazy.
yeah.
It's good. All right. And of course, we could not wrap up Would You Hug This without putting the Popa.
I will hug Chad as long as he keeps his feet to himself. More inside jokes. Sorry.
I was like, I don't think I know the feet story. I don't want to know.
He's always talking about doing an OnlyFans with his feet.
Oh, that's right. We can
actually make some money doing this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Chad and I were going to collaborate on that. I was going to send him hot sauce, and then he was going to video him putting his feet in hot sauce. So, yeah.
You'll never sell another bottle of hot sauce again.
Well, I mean, it would definitely get views, which is so weird.
It would get views, yeah.
It'd be funnier if it was like me introducing the hot sauce and then the feet were Chad's. We didn't explain it. I'm sure he's got hairy toes or something, and people would be so confused.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Carl, for playing. That's too funny. I feel like Chad's hands wander. Poor Chad. Speaking of crazy, I wanted to note that Laurie suggested the fan art, Carl. I don't think Frank has seen my fan art. He's real quiet. Oh, because when Frank Martin was on the show. Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. He is kind of quiet. Frank isn't part of Rolling Squid Bones, so I'm not really sure. Frank. Yeah. So we were talking about, hold please. Let me put this back up here. That you were focused on this book specifically for the Kickstarter because you wanted to do other stuff. So what other stuff are you planning, Carl?
Well, I'm just putting myself out there for writers looking for artists. And also, man, I don't want to get into this too much, but like I was a federal employee. I got early retired from Doge. So I'm barely making enough money to get by. But I am getting by with the retirement pay. But I want to make some money doing this. So, yeah. Whoever's willing to pay a halfway decent page rate, and be, I want to make myself available as soon as possible. I have a lot of my own stories I still would like to draw, but I need to work out the scripts more. Um, so I think in the meantime, I would like to work with other writers.
That's cool. I didn't know you were going to put yourself out for hire. That's amazing. It's hard. And I mean, like Fish and I have talked about this before too, where it's like being a writer artist, where it's like you have your own projects that are in your back burner brain, but you also hire yourself out to do art for other creators. And it's like it's a weird balancing act between the two. It's like you want to do the projects to make the money, but you also want to work on your own things. And how do you balance that, you know?
Yeah, it's
So
kind of counterintuitive too, because you think, well, if I'm doing it all myself, then I keep all the profit.
yeah, but you also have to do all the work.
Yeah, I mean, so A, it takes longer, and
Yeah.
B, it's just me. I don't have the hugest following. I'm not the greatest at promoting myself, so if I were to work with somebody that's got, more Instagram followers or whatever, and has time to promote, because like, while the writer's done, usually while you're drawing,
Hmm.
they've got all kinds of time to promote the book, that I don't have time to do, so,
Yeah.
and it's just, I don't just want to do my own ideas. I do really just want to work with other people, even if it's not just about the money. It's
Yeah.
part of that process, part of the growing process, working with someone else. Two heads are better than one if you find the right two people to get together.
Absolutely. I have found that every single project that I have collaborated on um, is better than when I originally wrote it. You know what I mean? People bring their own flavor, they bring their own thoughts. Um, and again, as long as people come to the table with whatever's best for the project and leave the ego behind, you get really amazing stuff. And there's a ton of great talent out there. So yeah, that's gonna be. Is that like a new chapter for you? Have you done other people's books before, or just your
Yeah,
own?
I didn't write Of Thunder,
No.
and I just finished the latest Night of the Chihuahuas book. That's a series.
Mm.
So I did that, and then Of Thunder was 48 pages, and that was Nate Price,
Wow.
the publisher of Night of the Chihuahuas, wrote that. I just finished coloring that, so that'll be it was 2 issue black and white, but we're going to put it out as one 48-page color book as well. Um,
Do you own comics, Carl? I will share it around like a cheapo that I did for Jared. Yes, Carrie. This one on the screen is the one we're promoting right now. White Wolf #3. This finishes up his series, White Wolf. I think you came in a little bit later, but we were talking about like the series, and I showed off the interiors for like the first one. So, really cool series. Lots of drugs, schizophrenia, zombies, creatures from beyond. There's a giant shark, a dude with no legs. There's all sorts of stuff. What's not to like? So, definitely, definitely. If you would love to share, we would love it if you could share this one. Could we talk about some of the other projects that you sent me? Because I'm
yes.
looking at junk. And now I want to know your process. I want to put something on the screen, you guys, and it's going to blow you away. So, junk is a completely different idea, genre than White Wolf, right? Because we're in space, and it's like space apocalypse. How would you pitch space or
Kind
junk?
of a
Excuse me.
kind of a dystopian,
Yeah.
and it's cyberpunk as well. Um,
Look at this. Look at this, you guys. This is a space station. Um, this blows me away because I mean, like in the era that we are in, with the AI slap, we need more Carl, don't we? Because it could never, AI could never do this, never. So when you do something like this, what's your process? Like, how do you sit down and come up with this and the
um,
perspective, and then it's a curve, and how long does it take you? Like, I just have
so
so many questions, man.
I think
Look,
for reasons of patience, I worked on it a little bit at a time. I work on
yeah,
it for a couple hours, go to a regular page, come back. So it probably took me a month, but I would say it was maybe a week, a little less than a week total time. I'm sorry, you can go back to me. I have the original here.
Look at this. So this is pencil.
Yeah. So there's two things. I mean, remember, I write and draw.
Yeah.
So there's two things. One, I looked at science fact, like what would a habitable place be in space in the future? And there's something called the Stanford torus. It's kind of like in the movie Elysium,
Yeah.
where it spins. So it's we don't have these gravity machines they all thought we were going to have. Like in Star Trek, where you just push a button and all of a sudden you have gravity. They've not been able to figure that out. I don't think they ever will.
Darn.
So they've got this circular world that's spinning, and in the original design, they've got plants and trees and everything, for oxygen. I wanted to make kind of a dystopian world where everything's a machine, like those circular things there. They're basically like processing oxygen. They're doing the job of plants. They're recirculating the air, creating air, changing carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, all that. But everyone is miserable, everyone is just about serving the corporation, which then collapsed and got taken over. So like they went from a corporation that's too big to now a government that's too big. So everyone's unhappy. But that nonfiction research always informs my fiction. And then as far as drawing it, that was tough. I went through sketch after sketch after sketch. Nothing was working. I finally realized what I had to do was just create multiple vanishing points. It's actually just 1 point perspective.
What?
But
how?
Done over and over and over. So like there's a point here, there's a point here, there's a point here, there's a point. Instead of just trying, usually when you get more complex with perspective, you start doing 2 point, 3 point, 4 point.
Right.
What I figured out finally through trial and error was that I just needed to do like 1 point perspective, but like 11 times or 12 times.
Oh my God. Okay. That makes sense. But how do you, it just still, it's like, how do you decide how far back to go with the new points? You know what I mean? Like it.
Yeah. So the points have to get closer and closer together as you get further away.
Right.
And
just
that
eyeball it?
was just, I use a lot of tracing paper. I would just throw tracing paper over top and sketch it out, not actually measuring it, but just eyeballing it. I'm like, does that look right? Does that look, try another piece of paper. Does that look right? Just try it over and over. And then I finally figured out where I needed to put the vanishing points.
Yeah.
Just a lot of trial and error.
Fish, and I know that you and I have talked about this before, those establishing shots, those big shots where you take the time and you put in all the detail in the background, so that way when you move forward in the story, people have a context for where everything is happening. It's so important in the story, and stuff like this just blows me away, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's an emotional reason for it too, like to coincide with the story, because it's called junk because they're kind of like space junkies, and they're on this path over and over, like people trying to quit. Drugs are. It's just in this case, they have nanotechnology in their bodies that does the job of your immune system, and your immune system is supposed to help the immune system, but the immune system becomes reliant on it.
Yeah.
So then, and this nanotechnology needs updates, just like your computer virus software needs updates. And you have to get those updates from the corporations and the government. So if you try to live off grid, you're getting sick all the time.
Dang it.
And then you have to go get cracked codes from dealers to keep from being. You never get high, but if you don't get what you need, you are going to get sick. And so that's kind of the backdrop for the story. And so they're on this. The whole thing is just like, get better, get sick, get better, get sick. It's
yeah.
They're always going round and round. That's a common theme in the story. Emotionally, not, and so then I have them physically going round and round as well, until they can finally get. The goal is to get off the world. to basically, they're trying to engage in identity theft and get off that world. Because I say this is a dystopia, but the entire solar system is not a dystopia. It's just this one place they're living is gone to
So
shit.
there's multiple of these floating cities?
So there's other, they're an asteroid mining colony. And
Yeah.
there's still people on Earth. There's probably, I don't get into it that much, but there's probably people on other planets. There's probably there are definitely other places, other mining colonies to live on where their people are treated better. The workers are, not overworked and polluted and all that. So it's kind of it kind of mirrors addiction, right? You're going round
Yes.
and round, falling off the wagon, getting back on, and you kind of have to change your identity to break free from all that.
Hmm. You have a lot of substance abuse in your stories.
I wrote this when I was in New Orleans working at a combination bar and laundromat.
That's a thing? How is that a thing?
In New Orleans, it is.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. And we were across the street from Nothing Studios at the, it was Trent Reznor's studio. So
I need to open a new business here in Texas.
if you're near a
Laundromat
college,
bar?
it's guaranteed money.
I don't even know if we can zone for that out here. What if we did like a coffee bar and laundry? 'Cause then you don't have to
That
get a
might
liquor
work. That
license.
would probably work better.
Because
Yeah.
people, write what you know. That's a good point. So, I mean, so in other words, you're writing from seeing these people. Oh, Lord, in Louisiana.
Yeah, and a lot of it
New
was just
Orleans,
me
right?
getting mad at the medical industry too, because they're kind of, all they're researching now is drugs that you're going to have to be on for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
They're not really looking to, and
To
that's
cure
just because they
anything.
have to make money. I understand that they have to make money, right? If they're going to spend $1 million researching something, they've got to get a return on that investment. But why is that the only thing we're researching now? How to find you a drug you're going to be on for the rest of your life.
I was getting really sad yesterday. I was watching social media and just the state of everything and like just AI. My husband was watching this documentary talking about like the possible outcomes of AI. And one of us like it takes over. Another one is like we hand it the keys to Earth and it's kind of like seeing it as our own children. Another one was like we're creating our own human zoo where they keep us, as pets or to research or to experiment on. And I was just like, we're building our own people zoo. Is what we're doing.
I see it as Wally. Remember the big cruise ship everyone lives on in Wally? I see that as our future.
Well, I was thinking that too. I was like, maybe we can convince the AI that they can have Earth if they help us leave Earth and we go somewhere else.
Well, even if we don't leave Earth, they're going to turn Earth into that.
Into just a space junk. Here we go. We made it. We came full circle. This page really caught me in this book where it's like citizen directive, government protest is illegal. When did you write this?
Oh, I don't want to get political, but probably the beginning of the Bush administration.
Okay. So way before where we are now.
Yeah. God, yeah. I accidentally predicted a lot of the future.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, man.
And I've been accused of this too.
Yeah. This was not supposed to be predictive. It was supposed to be a warning.
Yeah.
But with ice and all that, it's bad.
I'm with you because a lot of stuff that I wrote in 2018 is like still happening and it freaks us out as writers. I think we tap into this weird, I don't know, creative force outside of ourselves. And it's like when stuff like this is on the page now and we can draw meaning from it, but we, came up with it a decade ago. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah. And what's really frightening is the space station or mining colony was supposed to be very multinational. So I was actually looking at how China controlled their population.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big influence, not how the US controlled their population, but now you'd never know that.
Anyway, it says
now
government
you think
protest is illegal. As an individual, you must not disrupt the social order. The good of the state relies on your ability to conform and be a productive member of an organization that care and are responsible for you. That's pretty scary.
That's
And
almost word for word from like a Chinese propaganda.
is it?
Yeah.
Good Lord. And then of course it says when you I don't this is so genius of you to kind of like plan the message into the message, you know? Because then it's like illegal individuals disrupt the social order. The good of the state relies on you to care. And I was just like, oh my God. Um, that's deep. I was like, so after everything that I've been consuming on doom scrolling recently, I was just like, Carl, you tapped into something bigger than yourself here. I love this pig head, by the way.
Yeah, that's Lord
It's
of
a
the
good one.
Flies will kind of
Yeah.
kind of inform everything I do. That book is a true horror story to me, more than anything with monsters,
It
ghosts, and
really is. And I mean like that's me too, where it's like the capacity of man to do the things that we do is the horror story to me.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And the trust that we give to outside of ourselves and it's just um abused, I'll put it lightly. So
hmm
I don't want to again, we're not getting political here. This is just speaking in general, but it's like it's hard to look at dystopian books and see too much of what we're going through. You know, it's like maybe we
yeah.
deserve an AI zoo. Maybe we do.
Well, and the word junk also came, it's got more than one meaning, right? So it also comes from the fact that the people have just gotten way too materialistic.
Yes. I feel that way too. It's like when I was a kid, Christmas was like you got a couple things, but one was something that you really wanted, you know? And now it's like with my own kids, they just get so much stuff. It's so much, like you said, junk. And I kind of want to move away from that because it's like, how many squishies do you need? You know, it's like instead of
Yeah,
squishies, can we get you a bike?
and unfortunately, you can't really blame them. They're operating like we are when we're on social media. It's just one dopamine hit after another.
Yeah.
You know, the next toy is coming out tomorrow, so
It's
of
more
course they're gonna
like,
want that one tomorrow.
right, it's the dopamine of opening the present. It doesn't even like it doesn't have to even get played with. That's, Jared wants all the squishies.
Yeah,
Well,
it's like people getting addicted to shopping, not necessarily the things they're buying.
right. It's the spending of the money, and I got to have the new thing, the next thing. Man. So you wrote, when did you write this? What year? Do you remember?
I worked on that story on and off for over a decade.
Wow.
But originally it was just a ripoff of that movie, The Warriors. Have you ever seen that?
Yes. That's
It was just
hilarious.
going to be a sci-fi version of The Warriors, where they had to get from point A to point B in the subway system. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I was studying martial arts at the time. I wanted an excuse for a bunch of cool fight scenes. I was like, wow, and as I start to write the script and do sketches, I'm like, man, I'm getting bored with this. So the audience is going to get bored with this too. So I did what I always do. I didn't throw it away. I shelved it and
Mm-hmm.
waited for better ideas to come to add to it, just like with White Wolf.
What martial art were you studying at this time?
Mostly jujitsu.
I was gonna say I see Krav Maga on this page.
Yeah, I like that. I would like the practical stuff.
Yeah.
Although I did study a really old, like samurai form of jujitsu.
Oh, the
But then I also
standing
studied
jujitsu.
Brazilian jiu-jitsu. But my first instructor was a cop who also had a psychology degree.
Interesting.
So he, yeah, he taught very real, like you talk about self-defense is really avoiding the fight to begin with.
Yeah.
He had a lot of good psychological tricks, and a lot of explained why people fight and how to avoid it, how to check your car, the backseat of your car before you get in, stuff like that. How to use your
Yeah.
keys as a weapon, like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
We need
It,
more
it makes
teachers
you
to
think
teach that.
different. And the reason I don't talk about it usually is that I loved martial arts, but I was never very good at it. Like
No.
it's just hopelessly average. So I have
uh,
bad depth perception, and I don't have fast twitch muscles. There's certain things you got to really be born with if you want to be top notch. You know, if you
But it's almost like the same thing that you were talking about earlier. If you think too much about you're stopping the process. Where it's like you have to train it methodically, and then you have to be able to turn it off so you can react. Like you said, those fast twitch muscles that can just react to something as it's coming in, as
yeah. I
opposed to
mean,
trying
that's
to.
a lot of people don't understand. That's the reason for the repetition of doing
Yeah.
moves over and over. So it gets in your muscle memory
Mm-hmm.
because, especially if you're taken by surprise, you're not going to have time to think.
No, exactly. You are what
Messages
you
happen.
train, and that's 100% it.
And I mean, well, I said I wasn't very good. Like I never had a trouble in on the street. Like
Oh, jujitsu
very few
dominates on the
problems.
street
It's just
because
like
people
me
don't know what to
fighting.
do.
Well, me fighting other martial artists, like in a tournament. That's where I was like,
Well,
wow,
that's
I
different.
am not a professional athlete. This is not for me.
That's different. Well, jujitsu,
It is very different. Yeah.
MMA, when that got really big, when we were cage fighting and we were, like no rules and stuff, that's when jujitsu really dominated because people didn't know how to fight on the ground. Everybody was striking, everybody was karate at that time,
Yeah.
boxing. And so jujitsu really started to dominate. And it wasn't until like the Gracies just flattened everybody that people were like, we need to know how to deal with this. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I went through all that. They kind of were like my heroes and hated them at the same time because like before they made all that known, I could beat a karate guy that trained like 5 years longer than me
Hmm.
in 30 seconds because he didn't know what a double leg takedown was.
Yeah, it was
And
the
then
Ronda Rousey.
after the Gracies scared the shit out of everybody and they learned how to defend against that, it really equaled the playing field. I'm like,
Yes,
damn it, now I'm not like invincible
Superman.
anymore. Now
Well,
this
and I
guy
mean,
with
like,
really good reflexes is
you still
handing me.
are against most people, right? Because most people have no idea how to fight, and they have no idea. But it's against those trained people that it becomes difficult. But I
Yeah.
mean, if they're training MMA, like true MMA, it's like they should know how to fight on the ground. They should know how to strike. They should know how to block. They should know how to do throws. They
Hmm.
shouldn't. They should be well balanced if they're claiming to be MMA. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I skip all that and I just carry weapons. Because I will never be as strong as Carl, and it doesn't matter what belt I have. Carl, if I do a move on you, you could just pick me up.
Yeah. It's that's you for self defense. You're doing it exactly right,
Yeah.
and have an escape route.
Yeah, don't fight the dudes with the knives, run
Have a
away.
weapon. Realize lots of other things can be weapons around you, and have an escape route. And don't take the rage bait. Whether you're
Yeah,
online or in real life, you're at the bar or whatever.
don't fight if you don't have to. Because I mean, like, even if, I mean, there's been so many legal battles. Like, some dude drunk punches some dude, he falls backwards, hits his head on a half a wall or the curb, and he dies. And you
That
go to jail
that literally
because,
happened to
yes,
at the restaurant where my friend worked in high school. The cook and the dishwasher got in a fight, took it outside. The dishwasher fell, hit his temple on the curb
done.
from just one punch that it didn't knock him out, it just knocked him down. But yeah, it hit his temple. He went into a coma and died a week later.
And that guy went to jail.
Street fights are so unpredictable.
Yeah. Remember, you acting crazy is an underutilized weapon. Yeah, like my friend who just like stabbed himself with a fork before got jumped. I don't recommend doing that. That was dumb, but it worked.
Well, the other lesson too is don't go back to that bar.
Yeah. Don't go back to that
I'm
place
sorry.
because they're gonna show up with bigger weapons next time. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to judge. I engaged in a lot of risky behavior when I was in my
reason,
20s and early 30s. I mean, that's where a lot of that stuff and junk comes from. Like,
yeah.
there's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of shit talking, and a lot of people
Well,
down on their luck with nothing to lose.
reason number 457 why women live longer. I'll just throw that out there. So I was reading this one this morning, Travelers of Forgotten Myths. So again, we switch genre again. I feel like this is great because you're not really, I don't know, I think writers can get typecast just like actors. So a lot of times when I'm writing for myself, I'm all over the place. But when people come and knock and they're like, Laurie Calcaterra, she can write horror and she can write Western. And so those are the requests that I get. But I can write all sorts of stuff. So I love that you're not really like stuck in any one genre. You just go wherever you want to go. This one is way different. How would you explain this book, Carl?
Well, so first off, the reason I went so different, I would say I wrote this after Junk, and Junk,
Okay.
I went to a pretty dark place. It was written about a lot of things that bother me, and there were a lot of bad experiences at the time. While I was working on that, I deployed twice to Afghanistan. I was in New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina.
Oh my God.
And I was in Afghanistan for the 1 year anniversary of Katrina.
Oh,
Um, it's kind of hard not to have opinions when you've turned 30 and 45 in Afghanistan. That'll give you some opinions on our
yeah.
foreign policy and all the other things we already talked about with Junk. So I didn't. It was kind of therapy for me to get it out. But at the same time, after that, I wanted to go to a happier place.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing this again. I'm emotionally exhausted now. So I went back to my childhood, which was a very happy childhood. And one of the reasons for that was all the great movies that came out, like in the 80s. I loved Ray Harryhausen. Obviously Spielberg and George Lucas were big. I saw all the first 3 Star Wars movies in the theater. I was 5 when the first one came out. So saw them at like 5, 8, and 12, with Raiders of the Lost Ark and all that thrown in. But especially and I love Greek mythology and Egyptian mythology. So I was like, I thought of stories like Wizard of Oz or Alice in Wonderland. It's like, I'm going to have this kid go into an imagination that's created by all the books he reads. So I made them books about Greek myths, dinosaurs, and all that.
Cool.
So he's in Africa. He gets sick, so we're kind of following him along in these fever dreams. It's a lot like the Wizard of Oz. Like, they go through a storm. He wakes up in this strange world. It's just based on all the copyright free stuff I loved as a kid.
Yeah. This is so ominous. Red sky at night, sailor's delight. Red sky in morning, sailors take warning. And it's like, all right, here we go. Just throw us in. I'm going to skip forward a little bit because I want you guys to see some of the crazy things. It's like, he wakes up. It's like, those birds look strange to you? Like, now it's time to go. Hear me, monsters. So we got dinosaurs right away. We got this dude who looks like he's Sharon from the River Styx. You gotta pay him coins in order to cross.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you imprinted Greek mythology onto an African landscape.
Yeah.
With African characters, like the centaurs or zebras and stuff like that. And then there's references, like if you go back to Alice in Wonderland as well. Like the big T-Rex is the Red King.
Oh, the Red King.
Like, don't wake the Red King because we all live in his dream.
Oh, I love it. We will all be lost. This reminds me very much of almost like King Kong, like Kong Island. Kind of wild.
I love Skull Island. Yeah,
Skull Island.
I loved King Kong when I was a kid. That was my favorite movie for a long time.
But it's like you have tendrils, you have giant bugs, you have dinosaurs, griffins. Here you have the centaurs, and then there's a space capsule.
Yeah,
space capsule.
I had the big G.I. Joe astronaut figure when I was a kid. It came with a space capsule. I just threw it in there.
I was like,
it's just telling the audience you're not in the real world anymore.
Yeah. It's just all stuff from this kid's imagination. Here's the centaurs, guys. These are super cool. Three-headed hyena. I was like, all right, we got Cerberus. With a snake tail, or are we chimera? Are we chimera?
So the Greek myths I read as a kid had him with a snake tail.
Cerberus?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't. I guess no one else. I haven't found that book anywhere else, and no one else has ever told me they've read that. So maybe I shouldn't have put that in. But I don't know. I thought it was cool. So there is some version of that Greek myth where he has a snake for a tail. And
Right.
in the Clash of the Titans, the Ray Harryhausen Clash of the Titans, they didn't give him a snake tail, but they did put a snake nearby, like it
Okay.
coils up over top of the guy's sword when he's trying to grab his sword.
It's not ominous or anything, guys. I love this part too, where the doctor he picks up this staff. Isn't this what's the symbol?
Caduceus,
Thank you.
yeah,
The do no harm. Yeah, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The serpent with the bird on top.
Yeah. I was like, that's fitting.
I had just read "Man and His Symbols" by Carl Jung.
Interesting. Gosh, it's funny because in the Rolling Squidbone chat, we were talking about that's called F around and find out. We were talking about like the black and white versions of your work versus the color version. And it's like, I don't know how anybody can pick between the two. Do you have a preference? Do you like?
Um, no.
Okay, then
I,
you're with the rest of us.
you know what? If I was a customer, I'd probably get the black and white because with any physical purchase, you're going to get the digital PDF.
Yeah.
So you'll get the color PDF and you'll get the black and white physical
Okay,
copy.
that's smart.
This is the only one I didn't put out in black and white though.
It's crazy. Crazy amount of detail and art goes into these. So this is like we're talking about decades of work that we're looking at here. Yeah?
Time,
Time.
decades of time to get this good. It, I was not a naturally talented artist. I mean, I was like in art school. I mean, I have more artistic natural talent than the average person. But when I went to art school, I was like, wow, I am not the best kid in my art class anymore.
No.
I am right in the middle. Like I am dead set average. I'm gonna have to get a lot better.
Well, I mean, that's just part of going to art school anywhere. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It's like if you're the best musician in whatever Michigan, and then you get to college and you're like, I got work to do.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not a prodigy. I just found out I'm not a prodigy. I better
Right.
get my ass to work. Better get those 1,000 hours in or whatever. Do those 1,000 bad drawings to get to the good one.
Exactly.
That's just what 99% of the population has to do.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's time and it's dedication and keeping to your craft. If you want to be good at something, you need to do it repeatedly. I tell my kids this all the time. It's like kids right now, they're just like, "Mom, I'm not good at that." I was like, "You've done it once.
Right.
You've done it once."
Honestly, I think that's the difference between someone who's meant to do something and someone who's not. Because
Yes,
if I'm not good at something, I also quit. Unless it's art. If I'm not good at art, I'm like, well, I'm going to keep doing it again and again until I get good at it.
till I get
That's
better.
why I know I'm
Just keep
supposed to be an
practice.
artist. Because
Right.
in anything else, if I'm not naturally good at it, I just lose interest pretty quick.
Yeah. I hate decorating cakes. I'm just gonna throw that out there. That's the one thing I just hate doing. I never do it. I don't want to do it. So when people are like, "What don't you do, Laurie?" I hate decorating cakes. I
Yeah.
was never meant to decorate cakes. I'll tell you that much. So
For me, it's algebra.
algebra. There you go. Take that, algebra. Just to remind everybody, if you're tuning in on the back half of the show, White Wolf 3 is live on Kickstarter right now. It just funded, so you are guaranteed to get your books. There's so many options to get previous issues, digital issues. I went for the digest size trades. You can get all 3 in one cute book. Oh, today's your mom's birthday. Happy birthday. Happy
Oh,
birthday.
88.
88. National treasure. Just say that. Sending love to mom. All right. So you can head over to Kickstarter. I put the link here for everybody. So you can head here and pick up your copy. Trust me, you're going to want to read this one. Carl kind of spoiled it on the show. So if you missed it, you have to go back and watch because I'm not going to say it out loud again. But the thrilling end to the story is coming. So gosh dang you for spoiling it, Carl.
I didn't. No, there's a lot I didn't say.
Okay, good. I was like, oh, I want to know. I'm usually Johnny on the spot when people are like, I'm gonna spoil it, and I'm like, no spoilers. Do you have more podcasts that you're planning on going on, Carl? I'm gonna play
No.
You don't know?
No, I don't. You have to schedule them so far in advance.
Yeah.
Because I just did 2 before this show. Also, it's hard for me to find my target audience. I thought this show and the other shows I did would work good. But in general, if people are looking for superhero comics, I'm not your guy. Like that's a waste of time for me to go on one of those shows.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I find that there's people hiding in every audience. Every podcast I've been on, I find at least one person, you know what I mean? And then it goes from there. But yeah, I'm with you. Like I'm not superheroes either. But there's a lot of people out there that want to read other than like we don't. I was never into superheroes. My husband read Batman. I never read comics as a kid, Carl. I didn't read. Really, my first graphic novel that I read was Who Watches the Watchmen, and I was in college.
Oh yeah.
And that's when I was like, this is what I want. I was like, yes,
crazy.
it's superheroes, but it's so much more. It's the flaws of man and like, saying something about the true superhero is so super that he's detached from humanity,
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, the average superhero book is wish fulfillment, right? And Watchmen is not that.
right.
Like we wish we could fly, we wish we were super strong, whatever, but that is yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be erased from existence and have to reconstitute my body in order to be super. No. So, yeah, but there's a ton of people out there. So I think that it's just a matter of finding your audience. I'm going to play something for you because I always chuckle at this, but I always feel like this is what it feels like to run a Kickstarter. We haven't seen it in a while, so I'm going to play.
Hold on. I think I'm bleeding. Am I bleeding? Ow! Ow! Nose and lips! Okay, ow. Ah! Can I... Ow! Ow! Wait! Ow! Please, Mr. Oh!
Yeah.
Accurate.
I'm not even popular enough to get the scammers yet. I'm kind of jealous of everyone who gets the scammers.
I'm telling you, they've cut back on those quite a bit, but it's like we pay for that. It's like every time you log into Kickstarter, it's like it logs you out, or like it's like we send in a 6-digit code to your email, and it's like you have to do that every other week. But that's I think how they're able to cut back on a lot of those scammers, because they used to be prolific. It was in your email, in your messages, all over the place. So glad that's left.
At least something's improved.
Yeah. Well, I think as a whole, Kickstarter has made things easier. Like they've done a lot of different how I want to say updates. Like the list over here, I thought that was cool where it's like you could add headers. They didn't even used to have where you could add a picture, Carl. It was just a box.
So I tried to fill out a survey to complain. But all they did was they just kept asking me questions about tax money and bank accounts. But my problem is that every comic and magazine that people are trying to sell is going to be vertical, a vertical rectangle, like,
Yeah.
and the images you've got to put up there for your products are not that
Or
shape. Like
not.
they're always cutting off your title, or like I've got to go in and spend hours cropping all my artwork differently to fit. Like why? Why
Yeah.
don't you just make it a rectangle that's taller than wider? Like
That would be smart. I mean, they could at least have an option. Like, do you want it vertical or do you want it
yeah,
horizontal? Because
especially
they
as an
could even
artist, because you know
do,
I'm going to agonize over exactly where the picture's cropped. Now, see, in the story, you can throw anything you want up. It's just the
yeah,
the tiers when you go onto the right and look at everything, it's square or whatever. Like it's really hard to fit a comic book cover in there.
right. I think you did. This is the way for you to go. I mean, like mine usually have like little images. Here, let me go back.
That worked because it's a double cover. It's a front and back wraparound
Right.
cover, but none of my other books are wraparound covers.
But like I have to make like I make like just a standard size of the template and then I'll add stuff with words. And I feel
Yeah,
like that's really the only, but it's so small. But at least you have
yeah,
an
it
idea.
is.
Yeah, but at least you have an idea of what you're backing, especially for campaigns that have multiple covers and stuff like that. But again, it's so small.
Yeah,
So,
especially when everyone's using their phones nowadays. I'm like, what do you even see on a phone if you're looking at that? Like,
yeah, I think it's different because they have a mobile interface and they have a computer interface, so
yeah, maybe
it's
it
they're
takes
slightly
up
different.
more of the screen.
But so they didn't even used to have pictures. I like how you can import. So you can import from campaign to campaign some things, some items.
Yeah, that's nice because yeah, when by the time you get to book three and you're still selling book one and two,
Yeah,
you don't want to recreate all that stuff.
right. You still have to
Yeah, that was
upload all the
helpful.
pictures though. And so, I mean,
Honest.
like, this is one of the things I was telling, it's frustrating with some of the artists. I'm going to vent here for a second as a writer, because I would have the campaign ready to go, but I wouldn't have the images because they were late on turning in like covers. I'd purchase a variant cover, but it's like my campaign launches tomorrow. Can you please finish the cover? I was like, because people are going to back based off of the image. Like if I just put your name there and they have no idea what it looks like, you're not gonna get pledges. Like you're just not going
Yeah,
to,
I
you know?
literally did that to myself, even though I'm the writer and the artist.
Not supposed
Because
to do that.
I wanted to make the cover last. I wanted to get the story done and make the cover something that had to do with the story, not just like a pinup.
Yeah.
That people are going that way a lot. Where I'll make this cover and I can also sell it as a pinup, like, or it can work on its own. Like that's cool, but I want to see a cover that relates to the story. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, I got to launch my Kickstarter next week. Coincide with these interviews that I had to plan 3-4 months ago, and
Yeah.
I really wanted to launch the Kickstarter like next month, but I I had these interviews set. I had
Yeah.
had to get them when I could get them, so I had to rush. The book's actually not done yet. I got a few more pages to do and some coloring to do.
It's
I'm
okay.
hoping it'll be done by the end of the campaign. I mean, I got over 25 days
Yeah.
to finish, so but it's annoying getting all this stuff to coincide together. I
Yeah.
really should do more interviews, but that's the problem. Scheduling them so far out.
Not everybody's schedules is far out, and especially not like my show. My show, you were lucky there was a cancellation, so you just
Yeah,
squeezed in. But most shows, like here on the Madness, we have 40 podcasts, 40, and so there's a bunch of them that you can get in that month.
I
So there's
can't
still
keep up with
options
them
for you,
all.
huh?
Becoming a full-time job trying to
It
keep up
is.
with
It
them all
really
and
is.
build the Kickstarter and
It is.
maintain it and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say I've got 25 days if anyone cancels because I don't have a day job anymore.
Hmm.
I don't even need
Yeah.
24 hours notice. Just tell me, you know, and
Yeah, we have spots here on the Madness for sure. Um, so you can definitely get in on some shows, but there's a ton out there. And so I would say look around. And I mean, like you could get lucky, like again, like with my show, it's like I came to Rolling Squid Bones like I always do, where I'm like, I have a cancellation. Who wants a spot?
yeah.
So there's people, yeah, there's plenty of spots. So definitely you guys make sure you head over to White Wolf 3 and go show some love. Beautiful art, great story. You're going to enjoy it. So, where can people follow you, Carl?
The website
Mm-hmm.
is ratracecomics.com. There's links to everything, all the other books I have for sale and the Kickstarter. And then on Instagram, it's rat.race.comics.
All right.
And then that's, what do you call it? Threads as well.
That's, yeah, here's just a few that off the top of Pop's head that you can sneak into. So Monday Madness is a Monday afternoon show.
I'm going to screenshot that.
Yeah. Edward Davis has a bunch of shows. He has a Saturday morning one and a Wednesday evening one that's more, it's music, but you still get to promote. Kevin Davis, I think his is on, what day of the week is his? Well, he pre-records, so it can really be any day. But it's like 3 or 4 o'clock my time. So I'm not sure how that translates in Arizona.
I think I'm only an hour different
Okay.
than Texas right now.
All right.
And the other half of the year we're the same.
Yeah. Ian Miller, that's another one, Triple Threat Comics. He's great. There's
Miller,
a ton.
okay.
There's a ton of shows. So I encourage you to get on a bunch because your audience is out there. There's an audience for everybody. It's just a matter of them knowing that you exist.
Yeah, it's tricky. I'm looking for the people who miss the old Vertigo comics and read the old heavy metal Hurlant comics.
I'm sorry.
I think
Everybody should appreciate this level of art.
I hope you're right. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if people don't like the story and just buy it for the art, I'm the artist too, so I will not get offended.
Honestly, I enjoyed the story. I was having fun. I was enjoying the action. I'm trying to figure out where things are going. There's some cool creature concepts in there. And then, of course, the schizophrenic Sancho, who's just like, I got an Instagram for my girlfriend. Like,
it's dark humor, you know.
It's funny. I have dark humor too, so that's why it's right up my alley. So I highly recommend. Yeah, in Arizona, we need a new heavy metal book, and this 100% fits that bill. I like it. Well, my friends, that's the show. Thank you again, Carl, for coming on. Congratulations again on funding on the show.
Thank you for that.
Well, I was like, I didn't scroll far enough down. Apparently, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get the digital because I want that trade. And then you're like, it's right there.
Yeah, I wonder if I should make an announcement about that because that also financially that is a really good deal. I couldn't believe how low the cost of printing that was going to be just by making it a smaller size.
Yeah, it's the best.
And one book, not 3 separate,
right,
size books.
And I tell you, they're great. Those sell at Comic-Cons. Is those digest size? They sell really well. So
yeah, and I've talked about this before. I think because this is for mature readers, right? Mm-hmm. So that kind of mimics the like the Japanese stuff.
Yes, the manga.
It's not superheroes. It's not always for kids. Just like why I picked the magazine size. That's more like heavy metal or more like the Conan magazine that used to be out and stuff. I'm letting you know it's something other than a Marvel comic.
Yes. And digest size are really popular right now. They really are. I should be getting mine very soon. They sent me a notification that they shipped. So.
Good. Yeah, I'm gonna pick those up. I've been getting your work digital because I've been waiting for the trade.
Yeah.
So I'll get the physical copy in trade form.
That's what I love too. It's like I need to do that more. I love my physical stuff because I like to read the digital so I can kind of like go really fast and get all the emotions and know all the story and the twists. And then I read slow when I get the physical. But I get in trouble. My pocketbook gets in trouble with all the physical stuff that I buy.
Yeah. One, I certainly don't get, I mean, the final product is done in Photoshop. So I certainly don't get offended if someone just buys my PDF.
Right.
Because if you've got, especially like if you're like me, if you're an artist and you've got a big high res screen, that's actually where it's going to look the best.
Cool.
The printer can't ruin it,
Yeah, the printer can't. Dang it. Anyway. All right, my friends, let's wrap this up here. We'll get on out so we can, there's another show coming up this afternoon. Join us next week, same place, same time. Bring your coffee. We're going to have Kevin Davis on the show. We're going to also talk about Dennis. So We're gonna have a little tribute next week to Dennis Knight, who we lost last week. So, but on a happier note, thanks again for watching. Kiss your babies, be excellent to each other, and we will see you here next week on the Tuesday Morning Brew. Bye, everybody. No, don't push that. I'm pushing the wrong button. Let me push this button. I'll push this one. Here we go. What is Path of the Pale Rider? Oh yeah, Path of the Pale Rider is a Western apocalypse comic book series where death is broken. We're following a cowboy through the wasteland as he sifts through conspiracy theories trying to figure out what the heck happened. We don't have flesh-craving zombies. We have people whose soul didn't leave when their body died and their mind slowly rots. There's no magic bullet to the brain. There's no escape. You feel pain, you decompose, you lose your humanity. And by the way, this affects people, animals, insects, fish. So do you have like 5,000 questions about how this world works? So does everybody else.
Ozzy, what are you doing? Come and have a look at this lovely book that was sent over.
You're wrapping in the perpendicular.
Oh, go on and spit the back out your mouth. No one can understand you like that.
Very nice. 6 out of 5 dentists and all.
Oh, well, that's not much better. Ozzy, why don't you sing to me? I can always understand you when you sing to me.
Fucking my brains. What is this my publisher sent me? Inked in black with art so sweet.
So what do you think? Do you like it?
Oh, Lord, yeah.
Ooh.